Silence over at DICE on Battlefield and the 5.2 update. Chapter 6 confirmed to be announced next week, more giveaways, and the first possible data mined indications of Okinawa may be coming to Battlefield 5. This is your week on the Battlefield. Welcome to this episode of This Week on the Battlefield, the show where we cover news, updates, the community, and so much more, all around the Battlefield franchise. As per usual, there's much to cover, so let's jump straight into it. This week in Battlefield 5, we have, of course, Tides of War Chapter 5, Week 12, Eye of the Storm, featuring objective and infantry-focused tasks that allow you to unlock the final weapon for Chapter 5, the M3 Grease Gun. If you want more details on how to best unlock the weapon and, of course, how to use it, I did do a full guide on it just yesterday. You'll find it linked in the usual places. As regards our weekly playlist, we have Rain or Shine, featuring extreme weather variants of Narvik, Fjell, Mercury, Marita, Pacific Storm, Aerodome, Hamada, and Devastation. In my personal opinion, this one's actually worth checking out, as it can be quite a bit of fun, and some of the maps drastically change when their extreme weather is activated. If you didn't manage to unlock the Nambu Type 2A in Week 10 of Tides of War, you can now also buy it for 1700 company coins in your company. No doubt one of the strongest close quarter weapons currently in the game, so if you didn't get it back then, I definitely recommend you snag it now. In army relevant news, we've got the Besieged collection featuring the epic Besieged skin set for the Americans, the Jungle Cat skin for the LVT, the Jaeger skin for the M1A1 carbine, the Enfield, MP40, Lewis gun, and the rare Nomad skin set once more for the Americans. Yes, supposedly, rares are now also being made Boyne's exclusives, so it would seem. More interestingly, however, than the actual collection, in my personal opinion, is the title screen and the background in it. It would seem that the picture was shot on one of the yet-to-be-released maps. My guess personally is Solomon Island. Now, that of course can't be confirmed, though the picture could correspond to the Daybreak Beach or Fisherman Beach location tags known to be present on that map thanks to some data mining activity by Temporyal. In what to expect next week, towards the middle to end of the week, according to Jeff Braddock, community manager for Battlefield 5, we will finally be getting news on what to expect from Chapter 6. That is currently the full extent of what is confirmed. However, the assumption is that we will most likely be getting a trailer alongside a release date and overview of the content to be expected to launch during the chapter. In terms of giveaways, we have another Art of Battlefield 5 book giveaway coming next week, and the judging of the War in the Pacific Cinematics contest should be complete, and of course, the winners accordingly notified. No information scheduled, as of now it would seem, as to what is happening about the 5.2 and 5.22 Time to Kill fiasco, but more on that a little bit later on in the video. Over in our temporal goodness, as always of course to be taken with a generous helping of salt, given the data mining origins of the provided information, we have more melee weapons found in the files in the Parkerized Combat Knife, the SAI or SAI, and the Commando Machete, internally supposedly referred to as the Okinawa Machete, a possible indication that we will be getting the Battle of Okinawa after all, possibly even as part of Chapter 6. Then, more because it's interesting really than really we can expect to see this content anytime in the game, if at all, Temporyal dug up some towable trailer variants contained in the game files, with variants including health, ammo, repair, fuel, and radar options. Most likely, of course, this is COG content and will thus never see it in the game, but interesting nevertheless. Also, Temporyal was able to find two models from the cancelled 5v5 competitive mode in form of the German Captain class. Does leave you wondering how much time was actually spent on preparing this mode and how much of it could have been spent on creating more content for the base game, given that they ended up just cancelling and not using a lot of the content that they made for it. Lastly then, we also have a US flag weapon set, most likely coming as part of Chapter 6 and demoed here on the M1897 shotgun. In community news, what could we talk about other than the current state of the game and the current dissatisfaction of the community with it? It's been 1.5 months now since the 5.2 update and close to 5 weeks since the 5.22 hotfix. Every measurable metric that is publicly available, or at least that I have seen, has indicated that the community is very dissatisfied with the weapon balance changes introduced by these patches, and that's really putting it mildly. DICE has now been back in the office for a full 2 weeks, and in that time we have gotten absolutely no communication from them on what is happening next with Battlefield 5 and what they're going to do to address the controversy surrounding their implemented weapon balance changes. No indication as what to expect next, no apology or reversal announcement. No, we believe this is the right direction and are going to stick with it clarification post. DICE really seems to think here that burying their heads in the sand and waiting for a Hamada-like sandstorm to blow all of their problems away is going to solve the mess they have created. But I've got bad news for you, DICE here. The problem with that is, really the only thing currently going away is the player base of this game. Personally, I hardly know anyone who still plays Battlefield, or if they do, they don't play the game anywhere near to as much as they did previous to the 5.2 update. Frankly, the whole situation, to me, is absolutely baffling. I have no words to describe what I perceive as the incompetence at play here and the damage that's being done to the community, the game, and really the franchise as a whole. So I'm just not going to bother to comment on it further, at least here in this video today. Over in our Only in Battlefield moments then. Starting this week off, we have two clips sent in by Shagyolo, aka Ollie. If you want to send in your own clips for consideration, feel free to send them to me either by link on Twitter or via email at defiantdisaster@gmail.com. But as regards his first clip, we start off with a beautiful 13-man B1 on Outpost Aerodome. In the second clip, we have a bit of road acrobatics with a jeep flip over a friendly tank, followed by a road kill. Next up, we have Max Frags with this fantastic Panzerfaust shot on Pacific Storm. And lastly, Akarat with his AT rifle and this Kolat vehicle kill. But with that, we're coming to the end of this week's episode then. If you enjoyed the show, found it interesting or entertaining, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share, and of course hit me up with your feedback, suggestions, and opinions down below in the comments or over on Twitter. With that being said, however, I'd like to thank you very much for watching and hope to see you in the next episode of This Week on the Battlefield.